Welcome, residents, to the Dr. DC podcast. My name is producer Richard, and across from me is the doctor himself.
Hello.
Each week, we talk about the weird and wonderful world of DC while fielding questions from listeners like yourselves.
Oh, that was classy. Like yourselves.
Like yourselves.
Oh, thanks, Professor. Ooh.
Hey, no problem, toots.
Oh, weird.
Oh,
Weird, like low kind of.
Huh? What? Bitch.
I was going to say weird, like low class professor accent. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess a professor can have that accent. Of
Yeah.
course.
What? You don't think I can be Oh, that's getting accenty.
Whoa.
Yikes.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. We got a review.
Yeah. Thanks, review, for saving us from this hell.
You mentioning it means that we're talking about it.
Oh, God.
We got a 5-star review, number 104.
Yeah, that's fine. It's only 5.
It's 104.
No.
Oh, you mean
it's only 5 stars.
I mean, it's
Sort of half-assing it. If I'm being
it's Apple
honest.
Podcast USA. I think that's only what they allow. With that attitude.
Yeah. Yeah. In a better, more socialist country, you could give more stars.
Exactly. See, this is the problem, America.
Yeah. You keep subsidizing more stars for the big corporations, but not for the little people.
That's right. Not for the important services. This comes from Superfly_perched
Oh.
with the subject matter, knowledge and entertainment, a super combo.
Oh.
God, I could go for a super combo right
I
now.
fucking love combos. Are you thinking of like the...
Oh, I was thinking about like a meal, like at a...
Oh, I was
fast
thinking
food
of the
place.
little pretzels with the fucking processed stuffing.
I
in
hate them so much. I think they're so trash.
I'm saying that I love them, but I probably haven't had them since I was like 12.
That's... I think if they
They
were...
had the pizza flavored ones.
Yeah. Do pizza flavored things ever taste like pizza? Or do
They
they
taste
just...
like pizza flavored
Do
things.
they taste like tomato sauce? But like bad tomato sauce.
and black pepper.
Yes.
Yeah.
They go on to say, I have to pinch myself upon hearing you guys every week talking about your affinity for DC, something I definitely share. I grew up amongst peers that all seemingly referred to that company, to that other company, you know, that has that spider guy, Arachnaman, I think, and gradually formed the belief that everybody in America was apathetic towards DC. I'm ecstatic that's not the case. I mean, we're in Canada.
Is this like a Kimmy Schmidt scenario? Like, was he like in the Marvel bunker for years and years? Then he came out and he was like, oh, Superman?
Super man?
Superman?
Minestrone.
They rescued him from the bunker and immediately put like a copy of Batman v Superman in his hand.
Karate. I'm ecstatic that's not the case. Oh, and what Colin does, oh man.
Wow. So he's listening from the beginning.
Sporadically drops his gem of a Tom Brokaw impression, of course. Wow. I don't even know who they're talking about.
I'm not even sure I remember him doing a Tom Brokaw impression.
I'm not sure I remember him being on the podcast.
Interesting.
Keep up the great work, all three of you. Phil from Fresno.
I mean, you sent this a while ago. It takes us a while to get through the reviews as they come in.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've gotten there yet, but spoiler alert, it doesn't end well for Colin.
No, it does not. In the total accidental
We
thing.
sent him to do like remote interviews in the old country, and he didn't make it.
Unfortunately.
I mean, frankly, he barely took off.
Someone could say he never showed up. We've got news.
Go to episode 75 if you want to hear what happened.
I do constantly. That's how I fall asleep at night.
You only put on the
Yeah.
beginning of that episode. Yeah.
It's a sweet moment.
Wow.
Yeah. Zack Snyder's Justice League cut new trailer.
Did you watch the trailer?
I did.
And
You felt pretty apathetic towards it.
I did. We were talking about this on the Doc Scored. I'm going to watch it. Of course I'm going to watch it. And
Yeah.
I am curious, legitimately curious to see it. Like
Yeah.
I'm not even necessarily dreading it.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, that trailer, and maybe it's just because we were getting too many sneak peeks or something, but
Yeah.
I was way more excited about the trailer from DC Fandom, which was just all basically shots we had seen before with the Leonard Cohen like hallelujah over it.
Yeah.
That made me more excited than this trailer did. This trailer kind of just felt like okay. I think it's just highlighting the things that wasn't that excited about. Like, I don't need to see the Joker. I don't need a ton of the Nightmare timeline. I don't need, you know what I mean? I think maybe it's just that, or I don't know.
What do you think of that version of the Joker?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I mean, I guess because it's the Nightmare timeline, we're living in a world where that Batman already kills a ton, so they probably have nothing to fight over anymore. Basically, the Joker won, philosophically at least.
Yeah.
So I guess they're fine. Like,
it's all fine.
Yeah, I mean, listen, cool things to see in there. It's kind of neat to get a better look at Darkseid. Pretty sure we saw Desaad and Granny Goodness in that
That's right.
shot. That's kind of neat. I mean, they're going to be little bitty parts, right? The villain is still Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
Steppenwolf looks pretty cool. I'm excited to just... I do think like the not red colored kind of final battle will just look better.
Yes.
Like whatever that weird colorization they did for the theatrical cut
was not into it.
It doesn't work.
No.
The stuff that we saw from like the first trailers way back, and then in these ones it's back to that sort of like the cool blues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to look better. There's a bit more Aquaman fighting, a bit more
it's
Wonder
a bit more
Woman.
of like Snyder's specifically like his colorization and editing style.
And I think that's fine, and I'm looking forward to revisiting some of those things. I think some of the dialogue will be a little less maybe I shouldn't say it'll be less trite. It'll be trite in a different way. It'll be trite in a way that's consistent with the movie as opposed to really jarring.
Yeah.
But the thing that I said on the doc score that I'm actually looking forward to is just getting more Cyborg. Like Cyborg, I think, was always going to be slightly more central to the story than he ended up being in the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
I think that's the piece I want. I want to see more of the Victor Stone origin story, more about his connection to the Mother Box.
Yep.
Is like we get the little hint in the theatrical cut that maybe it's taking him over, and then they just never address it. And I wonder if like I seem to recall a rumor or something that like the original idea was that because he's part Mother Box, he'd maybe get a vision of the Nightmare as well. Like that there'd be more connections to things, and he had this sort of man monster kind of thing going on. Like that's the thing that I'm most curious about for the movie. The rest of it, I mean, the movie will, I guess, have mostly the same basic central plot. We'll just get a lot of these diversions of like, here's a bit more with Barry, here's a bit more with Victor, here's the Nightmare again, that kind of stuff, right?
But overall,
the trailer, though, definitely left me kind of meh.
Yeah.
I think I just was expecting to be more excited than that.
Yeah, I the music was sort of meh, and the shots they showed were kind of like, that's a lot of what I remember seeing from the movie, I guess, but slightly different.
This is the trick of marketing, though, too, right? Like the Fandom trailer with having Hallelujah in there, I was like, I think it maybe tricked me into thinking like this will be a more artistic version of Justice League. To have like the goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, and you see like these shots of things. I'm like, it will be more artistic. And then this one probably just has the score in it, and I was like, yeah.
It sure is a similar version of the movie I already saw.
Mean, nothing's different about it, really, but I definitely felt differently about it. And I think it's also my growing dislike for Snyder as a person. Like, I had reposted a thing where he was like, someone asked him point blank, like, how do you respond to like the kind of the toxicity of your fan base? And he was like, they raised a bunch of money for charity. How could they be toxic? And it was like, well, that's
not really.
You could do both.
Yeah.
Like,
you can do that you can do a good thing in a bad way.
There could be some. It's also like maybe it's some of the good Snyder fans that were doing the charity thing. Bad ones are still toxic.
Yeah.
But also some of the toxic ones might have contributed to the charity. It doesn't exonnerate them of the other stuff.
Not all Snyder fans.
That's exactly what it reeked of. And I was just like, get fucked, man. Like,
yeah.
I was a long time Snyder apologist because I was like, I get it. It's not for everyone, but I like it. I like his visual storytelling. I kind of dig it. I like those movies. I don't know what to say. But now I'm just like, but fuck him. And now it's souring me on the movie. So now I think that movie's got an uphill battle with me.
Yeah. Sure. I'll be curious. But we're both going to watch it.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right, next piece of news. Cover TV series coming to HBO Max with Bendis Mac attached.
Sorry, what?
Cover?
Is this one of like Bendis's like Jinx World things? Because I'm not super familiar with those.
Might be my guess. I can look it up.
Because those were some of his own things that DC kind of got the rights to when he came over to DC. They also brought over like Pearl and the other kind of Jinx World stuff. If that's what that is, then I guess cool, but I don't know very much about it.
Yeah, I so it's technically DC,
But it's like an imprint thing. We're not talking about DC Universe. We're not talking about like extended kind of family of characters sort of thing, other than his sort of contained creator kind of universe that he has.
It says Variety reported today that the animated show was in development with Rooster Teeth Studios producing. Cover was part of the new wave of creator-owned titles published in conjunction with Bendis imprint Jinx World and
Right.
DC Comics upon his switch to the publisher from Marvel Comics in 2018.
Right. Okay. That makes sense then. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, the concept turns...
I mean, it's good to have things that are not just like the biggest properties, right? I mean, that's the thing that most people complain about the most is like, why do we have so many fucking Batmen? So
this is interesting.
always cool to develop other pieces.
It says the concept turns comic book creators into CIA assets, telling a story that features a fun mix of industry insider references. Many of the characters are analogs for real creators, and some scenes basically challenge readers to guess who is who with pulpy espionage elements.
Oh, that's fun. I like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the fun thing in like Morrison's Seven Soldiers and stuff like that, where there's that kind of like shadow group that's like basically comic creators and stuff like that.
Who's this Jersey, like New York guy peeing on another guy's grave? I don't know who that could be.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Weird.
who's this other kind of old New York comic guy who's holding a copy of The Fountainhead?
And only wearing a t-shirt. Oh no. Got it stuck in the peanut butter jar again.
I don't know what interviews you were listening to. I've seen so many interviews with Jack Kirby, and he does not sound like that.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Bother. I'm just telling you what I heard.
I've got a rumbly in my
What's-
mother box.
Yes, very good. Moving on. Do you have more?
No.
Okay.
Oh, Granny
There it
goodness.
is. Yep. Superman and Lois cast Angus McFadden as Jor-El.
Oh, should I know who that is? Angus McFadden.
It sounds really
Um,
similar to somebody, but I can't think of who that.
Angus McFadden. I mean, he looks vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in Braveheart.
Braveheart.
Oh, he's in Braveheart. Okay. Yeah, cool. I mean, he's got a good look, I think, for Jor-El. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Are you excited for this show?
I am, but I think like it's probably one of those ones I'm just going to kind of casually bomb in for unless it really hooks me, because I'm glad that it's doing what it's doing, but like I don't know that I'm the most interested. I kind of, for my TV, I kind of just want to watch the superhero stuff, you know, like, or something really fucking weird like Doom Patrol or WandaVision or Swamp Thing. Like I want either the most mainstream or very out there. The kind of like weird middle ground where it's like it's not quite a superhero punch 'em up. It's more about the family. It's a, you know, like it's cool, and I'm glad they're doing it because you want diversity in these things. But I don't know that it's necessarily for me.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
All right. Next, the CW orders a pilot for Wonder Comics Naomi.
Yeah. So this is a Bendis creation.
Yeah.
An original character he created when he came over to DC.
Cult favorite.
Character's name is Naomi McDuffie. The last name is a reference to the late great Dwayne McDuffie, who's a super influential comic creator, co-founder of Milestone.
Mm-hmm.
He was the guy behind all of those great DC cartoons forever. So this pilot, I think like Ava DuVernay's involved, maybe as a producer or something like that. Like
I'm not sure.
there's some heat on it, I think, but it'll be kind of cool because I mean the whole premise was that she is just like a civilian who like kind of sees like the superhero thing kind of comes to her town, and then these powers start unlocking and stuff like that. She ends up kind of swept up in the bigger world of the superheroes and stuff like that. And that character like went over to Young Justice for a little bit and is going to be in the Justice League come March in comics.
Wow.
She's joining the Justice League.
That's
So
crazy.
character's kind of on the up and up. And I think, yeah, it's cool. Plus getting another like black-led superhero show.
I wonder if they'll tie it in with like the other CW shows then.
Yeah, I mean, I got to imagine they will try to, or at the very least, they'll like give it an Earth designation, and once a year they'll cross over. I mean,
Yeah.
they went to all that trouble in Crisis.
I mean, they got to start replacing CW shows. So
Yeah, it's funny. We haven't really heard too much about the what else is, because Wonder Girl pilot did not get picked up. I just saw that. The one that might have been like the Yara Flor, that brand new character, didn't get picked up. But like Black Lightning's done this year.
they just renewed.
They didn't pick up Green Arrow and the Canaries.
No.
Supergirl is ending.
Yeah.
Legends and Flash got renewed.
Yeah. So did Black Lightning, I think. I thought.
No, Black Lightning's done after this season.
Oh, okay.
And then Stargirl has a season 2 coming. Batwoman got renewed.
Yes, that was the other one. I think there's only 3 that got renewed.
I know we're getting Superman and Lois, but yeah, it kind of feels like there's at least maybe 2 slots. Not that they need the same number all the time, but it kind of feels like there's a couple of slots that need something in there. So maybe this will fill one of them.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Although it would also be, I mean, the nice thing is that we've got that new character on Batwoman. So it's not like we lost Black Lightning, get the other Black show in there.
That very true.
Like, at least there'll still be more than one.
Speaking of Black content, first wave of Milestone comics finally revealed.
Finally. I feel like they said Milestone was coming back like 2 years ago.
And then documentary where Pooh Bear fucking Kirby was in, that's when they started talking about how we're bringing it back.
Oh yeah, they're gonna bring back Milestone comics.
Oh, I hope I don't get my fingers stuck in it.
Oh no. And then at DC Fandom, they released that like Milestone Returns #0, the sort of like kind of hint at it. And then it was like great. And then it just like never came. But now in like April or May, they're finally I think it might be May. Finally, some of these titles are actually, well, I think it only starts with one special. I don't think they actually solicited any of the other series, but one massive special is coming to kick it all off. And presumably then in June, we will get actual series, things like Icon or Hardware or Static or whatever. But for now, it's just the one special. It feels like a lot of waiting. I don't know logistically what's behind that or anything like that, but I'm excited. Those are characters that are underused and underserved, and it'd be neat to bring them back.
So from what it looks like is the Milestone Returns Infinite Edition #0 is in February 26th. And then the oh, okay, yeah, that was the one that initially was revealed at DC Fandom.
Yeah, but I think it's got like maybe 17 extra pages or something in it. So it's like the stuff we already read plus a little bit, I guess, just to tide us over while we wait.
Yes.
We're waiting like a Jeff Johnsian length of time for Milestone to come back.
But then Static's digital first miniseries is in April.
Oh, shit. Okay, awesome. Oh, right. It's digital first. That's why it's not showing up in the print solicits.
Yes.
It probably wouldn't show up until like maybe July or August then at that point.
And then Icon and Rocket digital first series is in August.
Right. Okay.
Or no, sorry. It's in June.
Okay.
So
yeah. So I mean, with those digital first, there's always a bit of a delay. Usually a couple of months between when it releases digitally and then when they maybe elect to make the print run of it.
And then Hardware we're getting in August.
Sweet. Right on.
Yeah. So there's a few that are...
I'm looking forward to it. They're cool characters and they just never got enough spotlight. So it'll be neat to have them back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always a Static fan. Like,
Yeah. I think it was cool. I mean, it's because Dwayne McDuffie was like one of the producers and one of the guys behind it, but I always thought it was cool that Icon and Rocket were in Young Justice. In
yeah,
that TV show and that just to expose people to this other character. But you never really got like a backstory Icon episode because Icon's history is crazy. He is an alien from another planet with superpowers, but he arrives in like the 1840s and like is made a slave and like lives as lives through slavery and abolition and that, and elects to be like present the face of like a black superhero. Like he sees like a strength and a power in that, and like it's such a it's kind of almost like a more interesting version of the Superman thing. Like
yeah,
Icon's kind of, but he as a character isn't as warm or human as Superman is. It's very fascinating.
yeah. I'm gonna be curious this
Yeah.
season. I definitely want to read any of that. All right, next. New images from Justice Society World War II show 2 Flashes coming face to face.
So excited. This is the next animated movie. The animated movies post the like sort of New 52
Yes.
DC movie universe have been so cool. Like Superman Man of Tomorrow, really, really neat. Loved it. Loved like Martian Manhunter's in that one, and Parasite is in that one.
We got to watch that recent one, the dragon one.
There's Batman Soul of the Dragon
Yeah.
that
It's been getting a lot of hype.
so cool, and it got that 70s aesthetic. It's got fucking Lady Shiva in there kicking ass.
Yeah.
And then we're getting this Justice Society World War II one, and Barry ends up back in time and meets Jay.
It's awesome.
In his era,
Yeah.
which is very cool. And we get like a World War II Wonder Woman, a Black Canary. We get Our Man. There's some cool stuff. We got Hawkman, obviously. I think it's going to be a neat movie. I'm really excited for that one. Good
Hell yeah.
voice cast too. It looks like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it a lot of the same people that usually do them? Or?
I mean, DC has kind of their stable. We got I think that Stana Katic from Castle.
Yeah.
She voiced Talia in the Arkham games, but she's voicing Wonder Woman for that one. I think Matt Bomber is in there as someone who I don't remember, but Matt Bomber is the voice of Negative Man on Doom Patrol.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah.
All right, next, Stargirl goes on spring break in new special coming from Jeff Johns and Todd Knock.
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry. This is coming in May. It's just a one-shot Stargirl special, but probably just to keep the excitement up until season 2. On the cover, we see like the 7 Soldiers of Victory and a mystery spot in there. So kind of neat. It's a cool way to like remind people not only of Stargirl and Stripe, but also of like the legacy of that character, the 7 Soldiers. You get Vigilante and Shining Knight, Green Arrow and Speedy.
Yeah.
I think people forget that there are connections in there. So yeah, cool. I mean, it's just a one shot. It's not the start of a Stargirl ongoing, although that would be cool if it was. But, I guess maybe they'll just judge it on the sales. So if you want more stuff,
buy it. Yeah, that's how.
I mean, right now DC has really like trimmed their offerings, so it feels like the preponderance of Batman is sort of like soul crushing. I don't actually think there's more than usual, but because there's not all of the other stuff, we don't also have like the Terrifics and all these. We haven't even seen Legion get resolicited or anything like that. So I think it can feel a little overwhelming if you don't like Batman or you just don't like that much Batman. So when other things come up, you got to buy them because otherwise they're not going to learn.
Speaking of, Batman 108 will introduce a new villain, Miracle Molly.
Yeah. The Tynan Jimenez run of Batman has been like really heavy on new characters.
Well, I'm always into that. Yeah.
We got Punchline, Ghostmaker, Clown Hunter, the Designer, the Underbroker, Miracle Molly.
Yeah.
Like in basically like 15 issues. There's like kind of 6 relatively kind of big new characters that have shown up.
Jeez.
I don't know anything about this character yet. The thing that I'm kind of I like Jorge Jimenez as an artist. I always liked his style, but seeing him design new characters, you can see so much of that kind of like anime sort of influence.
Yeah.
The bright colors, and just like it's not just like here's a suit, there's a triangle of color here and something. It's like, and they got a sweater on, and the sweater has 3 different colors of laces, and there's a patch here and one rip here, and it's got that kind of anime sensibility a little bit, which I kind of dig. But like the idea of anyone like else having to draw this character is now like, what are all of the details? Like,
it's a lot going on.
yeah, it'd be cool to see like what his like style Bibles of his new characters look like, because he puts a lot. Even Punchline on the surface looks like a simple costume, but you have a look at Punchline's costume and it's insanely detailed. More than Harley's various costumes, more than most characters. It's pretty wild.
It's crazy. All right, next, Justice League gets a brand new digital series this April.
Is this the what's it called?
Last Ride.
Yeah, Last Ride. Yeah. I think it's a 6-issue one. I don't actually remember what the solicitation was for it, but yeah, I think it's only a digital series, although I guess they'll judge the sales and decide if they'd want to do a print run or something like that. But it's I saw this on Twitter and now I can't even remember who the creator is. That'll tell you the week I've been having.
Jeez.
Who's the creator?
The Chip Zdarsky.
Chip Zdarsky. Oh my God. I think I'd think of that. Yeah.
And then Miguel Mendoza. Yeah. Mendoza. Yeah, there it is.
I think it'll be kind of neat. Chip Zdarsky is an interesting kind of writer. It's not a solicitation that I read and I was like, I have to have this. But again, like something a little different. It's a more kind of classic JL lineup. Like the proper JL series starting in March is a real new lineup, and Bendis is taking over. It's got Naomi, but it's also got Black Adam and Hippolyta. Like it's a different league. If you want another story coming out with a more kind of classic version of the league, then Last Ride's probably your bet.
Nice. Another one. Future State Red Hood targets the next Batman.
Future State's still going. I haven't been reading the Red Hood one, but the next Batman is Tim Fox. It's one of the sons of Lucius Fox, but not Luke Fox, who is Batwing. It's Tim Fox. He's the one that becomes the next Batman, and he's already getting like a 6-issue series once Future State is done that will continue his story. But I guess over in the Red Hood world, Red Hood's after him.
I love the look of this Red Hood. Have you seen it?
The Future State one?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's kind of been his look for a little while.
I love that.
Yeah, it's I like it because it looks like the more kind of full helmet is back. For a while, it was just kind of like a Bucky Barnes Winter Soldier kind of face mask thing, and that was fine, but not my favorite. But
this rules.
I like the logo that it's like a little bit less bat. I think is kind of nice.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm into
those
it.
Future State books have been fun. They've been neat. The Batman ones are I probably have the most, because there's so many titles, they have the most thorough kind of vision of what that part of the future is, because we're seeing it in so many different books. But I wouldn't say that any of them really hooked me. Like the Future State stuff that I have loved has been more the magic side, like Justice League Dark, the backup from the Justice League one, and the Swamp Thing one, and then also like the Wonder Woman. And I like seeing like the Aquaman one, and I like seeing Andy Curry and Justice League. Like those are the pieces of Future State that have kind of grabbed me. Even the Green Lantern one's really good, but the Batman ones, though thorough, I just don't find that captivating. Maybe just because it's the same kind of story. It's like, again, the city has turned its back. They've hired private security to come in, and there's a hit out on Batman and whatever.
I like the idea of Red Hood going after Batman, though. It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Even especially the new version.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you can't trade on their history.
Yeah,
This one is just like he has basically no connection to him.
Yeah. Be interesting. Final piece of news. We got a bunch of details finally from the Netflix Sandman series.
Yeah, they announced a bunch of casting and
Yeah.
everything.
We've got our this like Morpheus,
Here, let me just pull this up here.
the
Right.
Dream Morpheus.
So
the
Tom
Sandman.
Sturridge
Yeah.
as Dream. I don't fully recognize him from his picture, but
He's good. He's a good
Cool.
look.
I do love that Charles Dance, Tywin Lannister, is going to be that.
Roderick Burgess.
He's the one that I think, when the story starts off, he's the one that tries to trap Death and accidentally traps Dream.
Yeah.
Like the whole kickoff of the story. That's pretty cool. I like this guy that they've cast as the Corinthian, this Boyd Holbrook. Was he in Logan? Is he the guy, the guy with the metal hand from Logan?
Oh gosh, maybe I can't remember Logan that
He
well.
seems familiar, but I can't place him. And of course, Gwendolyn Christie,
Yeah.
Brienne of
Lucifer.
Tarth, is playing Lucifer.
Fucking
Really
into
cool.
that. So into that.
Really, really cool.
I get that like people were sort of up in arms about the fact that it wasn't the like Lucifer from like the current TV series.
I mean, he's good, but it shouldn't be him.
It doesn't-
let this thing have its own breath.
but also that version of Lucifer doesn't really match up with like the full like Sandman version, I think. Like
totally. I mean, technically speaking, comic wise, they're the same.
yeah.
But-
No, I know, but
Like, they don't have to be. It's fine. Yeah.
I-
I don't think
I-
that's necessary.
I don't think
you're
he'll-
going to let things have their own kind of space.
I have a feeling like it won't match up with the version of Sandman they're doing too.
Or they would make it match, and then it would just disappoint the people that wanted him there because they're like, oh, he's not doing the thing I like from his
Yes,
show.
exactly.
So it's like, well, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then Lucian is Vivian Akchampong. Kane is Sanjeev Bhaskar. And Abel is Asim Chaudhry.
I don't recognize these guys playing Cain and Abel, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this Sandman series. The audio series has been crazy good.
Yeah.
Kind of cool that we're gonna get like that version with its own one cast, and then also like a live action interpretation with its own cast, like. And you just sort of get them parallel. You can just take them in, and then you can reread the comics. There's like now you have 3 all like basically faithful versions with heavy Neil Gaiman involvement, 3 faithful versions of Sandman to just sort of dive in and out, see what you like. or what you don't like. There's something kind of cool about that.
I'm super interested. It'll be interesting to see how they cover the books.
I mean, I know the one big adaptation is changing the time period.
Okay.
Because in Sandman, he gets trapped in like the 30s.
Yeah.
And then he gets gets released or escapes or whatever in the 80s, because that was the late 80s, because it's Vertigo.
Yeah.
But this one, he'll get released in modern day, be like 2020 or 2021 or something like that. So the style, the sensibility will be a little different. So it'd be curious to see
how that affects,
because that 90s era styles Sandman so much.
Yeah.
Because like 90s comics, especially the Vertigo ones, were also like they were riffing on stuff that was kind of cycling back, right? Like all those people that were just too into the Cure or whatever,
Yes.
right? Like that they all were writing comics, and
so funny.
yeah, so it'd be neat, like if they adapt that or if they try to keep the styling. Yeah,
but it looks like they're covering in the first season. They're going to do the sort of the first volume plus a little bit of the second.
Yeah, which I think, excuse me, which I think makes sense. I can't imagine this season is more than like 10 episodes. We're probably talking mini season things like the sort of prestige TV that we're getting more and more of anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm fucking stoked. It should be coming out soon.
Is this
right?
one that you would actually watch?
Oh
do you
yeah,
think?
easy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be something I definitely am into. I hope it's as good as it seems, but I've been hearing about I guess I've never really gone through all of Sandman, and I've heard of the legacy for so long.
Yeah.
That like I feel like it's if the source material is as good as everybody's saying, then like how could it be bad?
Well, and with Gaiman still involved, you gotta trust that any changes that are made are ones that he deems are either necessary or like not that important.
Yeah.
They're either so important or
Yeah.
not that. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, speaking of, if the source material could be so good, how could the end result be so bad?
oh no,
This week's theme: standalone DC films.
that's right. I mean, we should say just off the top that just being a standalone
Yeah.
film does not make them bad. There are good standalone DC
Oh
films.
yeah.
And yet the pattern seems to be, well, maybe the pattern is only a pattern because they were bad. And they
It's
didn't
impressive to watch you bike so fast backwards like that.
Listen, let's just get the fuck into this. Got a bunch of questions about movies that basically otherwise we would never talk about or rarely talk about.
That's true. Yeah. So let's get into Facebook.
Go to the face and the book. Go to the Facebook.
First question comes from Josh Gill.
Oh, sexy Gill.
Oh my God, how can you breathe out and this over the water and got those Josh Gills?
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, I'll fill them up.
Yeah, I hope you evolve to come on land.
Permission to come aboard. Josh Gill asks,
Sorry, Josh.
No, I'm not. Keeping the character the same, would you recast any of the characters in Constantine? Which actor would you get rid of, and who would you replace them with?
Right. So this is not a question of retooling the script, changing the effects, doing anything like that.
Yeah.
But we've watched Constantine. We did a documentary track on Patreon for it.
Yeah.
We both actually really like Constantine.
Yeah.
Is there an actor in that you could think of that you're like, I would replace them?
Yes.
Okay. Who is it? And are we thinking of the same one?
Constantine.
No, really?
Yeah.
You'd replace Keanu?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't mind him. It's a little too much of Neo for me.
Yeah, but that's also kind of why he got it, because they were like, yeah, I mean, I guess his version of being sort of Constantine is a little less like flirty, sardonic, and a little more just like, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah. I'm thinking I'm back.
I mean, I wish he had more of that stank, actually. If he was a little more
Yeah.
John Wick, he'd
Yeah.
probably be I think history has been kind to him as Constantine. I think people are like, it wasn't that bad.
No.
But I also think if he was a little bit more John Wick
Yeah.
back then,
Yeah.
then people would have been like, yeah, fine, he's not British, but I dig it.
Yes, exactly. That's sort of where I'm at right now. Look, it wasn't bad, but do I want a more sort of comic accurate version of Constantine? Yeah.
So then who do you replace him with? And let's not immediately say Matt Ryan.
Okay. Sting.
Like 70-year-old
Yeah.
Sting.
Well, he wouldn't have been then. He would have been like,
We would have been like 60.
yeah, there we go. No, gosh, it's so hard because it's also like, who then would you have?
Yeah, I mean, that's its own tough question, because that's what, 2004?
Yeah, because I'm like, who was like,
Or 2005, sorry.
like who would have been an actor that could play that type of character in 2005?
I mean, you know what's funny? I'm going to say something outrageous here.
Okay.
We didn't know at the time how good of an actor he was.
Okay.
But McConaughey.
Oh, that's
Let's say we're still
interesting.
not doing a British guy because it's an American movie and they're like, Americans won't buy it if he's British. Let's imagine that sort of cynicism is still there.
Oh, I know who it is. Okay.
I feel like if anyone had like, I'm going to bet it all on red, like a real power move for casting would have been McConaughey. And it would have been like 15 years early. Everyone would have been like, holy shit, McConaughey's good.
I mean, that's true. I'd be hard to press to put him in that kind of role back then.
Yeah.
But, I got two potential options here,
Okay.
and you're going to think I'm crazy for both of them.
All right, let's have it.
One, Jake Gyllenhaal.
I mean, very good actor, but again, I think at that time was maybe thought of as too pretty.
Yeah, for sure. And then
Yeah.
the other one, I think you're going to like but not agree with maybe. But
Right. Okay.
Vigo.
Oh. I mean, that's peak Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Return of the King might have come out that year.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I just think that he's...
So instead of Hidalgo, he does
Yes.
Constantine.
Because I think he's got the swagger
I mean, it's oh fuck, you know?
right? Like,
Yeah.
because think about
And he can play dirty, man.
Yes.
Like, oh shit. I actually kind of like that. I mean, again, we're just like ignoring Britain. Sorry, Britain, but like,
oops.
in the context of that movie and its production,
Yeah.
Viggo's good.
Right?
Well, fuck me. Interesting. I don't hate that.
I feel like he plays a lot of the stuff that Keanu's trying to play in that, but just with a little bit more gravitas.
I truly don't hate that.
But also, like, could do the sort of like snarky thing that I think you need from Constantine.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't have like a follow up to that other than like fucking yeah.
This is what I'm here for. Bring me back to 2006.
I'll throw a weird one out since
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings came up. Do you think someone like a Dominic Monaghan, who's maybe a little bit more comedy or whatever, do you think he could put on the grime enough? Like, let's say he doesn't do Lost
Yeah.
post Lord of the Rings.
I mean, because there's
Do
a
you
lot of
think-
grime there.
Do you think Dominic Monaghan could have pulled off a Constantine? Because he kind of has that sort of punk kind of look,
You know
or
what?
feel to him. Like in real life, he's a musician. Like he kind of feels like maybe even just like as a person, he might embody some of those characteristics.
I mean, the guy who plays Sawyer maybe a bit more, but
No, he's too much of a fucking like bland American block of
you know
wood.
what? No, I think Dominic Monaghan's brother in that, the lead singer of Drive Shaft.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I think he could do it.
Right, that's a deep cut from Lost.
I just got to season 3.
Yeah, I mean, if you're naming like Drive Shaft, you're watching it right now. Yeah, you didn't remember that. Yeah,
You all, everybody.
nice.
Yeah, I'm deep in it right now.
Right on.
Oh my god, they blew up the hatch.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Season 3 is where I fell off. I got to the episode with Desmond, like kind of going back in time, and then I was like, "Nah, I'm done."
I stuck through the first one and I kind of love it. I don't know. It's
Right,
I'm into it.
right on.
I'm watching it every night. It's good when I'm not playing Planet Coaster.
Right.
Get on my level. All right, let's go to the next question.
Let's do it.
From Earl Kababat. Kababat?
Kebab it.
Oh no.
That sounds like an infomercial. It's like, "Are you tired of sandwiches? Kebab it." And you just put a bunch of fucking ingredients in here and it makes a kebab.
Are you tired of your penis being attached? Kebab it.
Oh no.
Lorraine kebab it.
Oh, sheesh. Kebab.
Boo. Boo. I say boo. Earl asks, Catwoman, 2004. Why did they decide to do this? Can you pitch a better Catwoman movie? Also, please say happy birthday to Stephen Marion Almagro.
Oh, happy birthday to Steven. Feliz cumpleaños, Stephen
Oh.
Marion Almagro.
Oh, ay, ay, ay.
Oh, es muy caliente.
I actually don't think he's Spanish either.
Oh, soy guapo.
Oh, no.
I am handsome.
No.
En la biblioteca.
No, you're losing
Am I
it.
handsome in the library?
Yeah. Das Vidania.
That's Vidania.
So Catwoman.
Right, yeah. Je ne pone mayo.
Can't help it now, yeah.
Catwoman. So
Yes.
a Catwoman movie was like basically set up in development pretty much right after Batman Returns.
That makes sense.
And they wanted Michelle Pfeiffer, and they pretty much wanted Tim Burton to direct, and then it just kind of kept getting pushed off.
Yeah.
A script got turned in, I think, like when Batman Forever came out, but Batman Forever was like, "We are abandoning Burton's vision. We need to sell toys."
Yeah.
And then the script for Catwoman got turned in, and it was like, "This is for Burton, right?" And then they were like, "Yeah." And then it was like, "Okay, retool it." Then it was like Michelle Pfeiffer's having a family. She doesn't want to act when she's like doing all this kind of stuff. Even though she's interested, she's like,
Yeah.
the time commitment. Then it was like maybe Ashley Judd. And then it was
that's
like,
interesting.
it just kept going. And then they rushed this one because there was a thought of maybe doing a Batman v Superman Batman versus Superman type movie in the early 2000s.
Really?
That didn't happen. And then they kind of rushed this one. And then I remember reading that the thought was maybe to tie it to the upcoming Batman Begins,
What?
which of course did not happen. But there was the thought of like, well, I mean, it's Catwoman. You got to bring it back to Batman
Yes.
or whatever. I think there was a thought that at one point this Catwoman movie might try to like make it tie to Batman Begins. Like not in any sort of way other than maybe bring Halle Berry into those movies as Catwoman or something.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, essentially just development hell and a studio needing to do something and having no ideas is why this movie happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine this movie is anywhere close to the original script treatment when they thought it was going to still be Michelle Pfeiffer. Stuff like that one would have just been that character. This one, her name, she's not Selena Kyle, although there's a reference to Selena Kyle in that movie.
It was such a
She
half
also has
step.
like cat powers, like sort of Egyptian
Yes.
based cat powers.
Yeah. Oh God, remember that fucking movie? Jesus.
The like nauseating basketball scene.
The one
The
outfit she
basketball
wears
scene
the
that
entire.
has, I think, 340 cuts in it. Like,
Well, that's what you get when you have kitty claws.
death by a thousand cuts. Yeah, I mean, it's bad, but if you were going to pitch a better Catwoman movie, I mean, for my money, you take the one kind of supernaturally element that Burton had was that she had 9 lives. And basically by the end of that movie, she's down to the last one.
Yes.
So then, I don't know, like, I just want to
Well,
see...
you recast.
No, you keep Michelle Pfeiffer. You make the movie in 1993, not in fucking 2004.
Well, yeah.
You keep Michelle Pfeiffer, and I think you go deeper into like the crime world of Gotham.
Well, yeah, that's
Like,
what it should be.
The cool thing with Catwoman is how she can infiltrate crime. She's kind of got the Green Hornet thing where she's just bad enough that they trust her, but she is good enough that she'll bring them down from the inside kind of
Yes.
thing. Like, I think that's your movie, right? Is her working her way into like the crime families or something of Gotham. Maybe you see the bat signal or you see a thing, but
Yes.
she's working like something deeper and
Yeah.
needs him not involved. So, you know, like you kind of have the specter of Batman, but you come up with some sort of conceit why he doesn't show up.
Yeah.
But she ends up doing the right thing, like the save the day thing. But it's more about like mobs and stuff like that. It wouldn't be like you wouldn't have Mr. Freeze or something like that in there too.
Fair. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's my thought. You like, Carmine Falcone or whatever. I mean, some of these things. I'm trying to put in the timeline. Long Halloween would have come out by then, right? You could maybe riff on some of the Carmine Falcone stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's the idea. You do like a mob movie with Catwoman.
I want something that feels a bit more like somebody who actually like is from like that world, that underworld.
Right.
Or at least like was like an orphan or something like.
Sure.
I think that's my big issue is it's so drastically far from.
Do
what-
you keep it Selena Kyle or do you also do like this is its own Catwoman?
No,
New
Selena
thing.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like you need to do that. Like
What, you didn't like whatever the fuck her name was, Patience or something like that?
no, I want somebody like Hilary Swank or something to do it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't think she could pull off the like. Here's the thing. I think Hilary Swank is a good actor.
Yeah.
I don't think she's interesting enough on screen to be a Catwoman.
Really?
I think she's pretty plain. Like Catwoman has so many layers.
Oh, you know who could do it?
I think of how insane that Pfeiffer performance is.
You know who could do it is Jenna Malone. That's who could do it.
Oh, I like Jenna Malone.
She could kill it.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Especially
dig
if I
that.
think about her version from like Hunger Games and stuff like that. Like
Yeah, I like her.
yeah,
She'd be interesting.
She would kill it. I think she's got that. She feels a bit more of like grounded of a person too.
Yeah.
Because I think for me, I was never a big Michelle Pfeiffer fan.
I mean, that's insane.
I really,
Michelle Pfeiffer may be the most beautiful person I've ever looked at.
really.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm more of a Poison Ivy guy myself.
I mean, just like roll around in the bush.
Yeah, I like the
Oh,
itch.
roll around in the bush.
Oh, yeah. Get a machete.
Oh no. I don't like this.
I cut my way through the bush
No.
and then chop it up,
Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
put it in the freezer. Yeah.
What's the next question?
Oh. Next question comes from Ryan the Whitney
Hey, put your knee.
on my
End of drop.
put me on my neck and crush.
Oh, Michelle
Don't-
Pfeiffer could.
Don't worry, I get hard.
Michelle Pfeiffer with that like silver hair in Ant-Man and the Wasp. That also kind of does it for me.
Really?
Oh, man.
I never. No.
Yeah. Michelle Pfeiffer then, Michelle Pfeiffer now. You bet. I'm in.
Huh. I can't remember what it was. I was listening to Blank Check the other day, and they were talking about this actress that always plays like moms and stuff in Disney movies and stuff.
Oh, yeah, they were.
And I was like, yeah, I get it. I was like, I get it. I'm there.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Pick me up from class. I get it. Ryan Putney asks, do you think Ryan Reynolds was a good casting choice as Hal, and the reason for the filming failing was the story? Or do you think the film would have been better with someone else as Hal? Yes.
Okay. So you think the problem is Ryan Reynolds?
No, I think
Or you think
one of
is Ryan
the problems.
Yeah, sure. It's not one or the other. Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, one of the things that makes Ryan Reynolds good is that sort of like boyish charm and very like self-referential like comedy and that
Right.
the meta thing. That's why it works so well for him as Deadpool. It makes direct correlation. I get why that works.
Right.
That is not who Hal is.
I think you're right. I think the problem with I don't know if it's even a problem with him, but it's certainly a problem with the way that Hal is written.
Yeah.
Is that Hal is just so fucking unlikable in that movie.
Yeah.
He's a douchebag who has his like this amazing life handed to him on a silver fucking platter. He basically never struggles. The only struggle he has is having to relive the moment his dad died. But otherwise, he has this great life, this amazing life. He can't be. He's like barely bothered to show up with a properly wrapped present for his fucking nephew.
Yeah.
Like he has this great job that he just fucks up because he's too much of like a dick swinger to just do his job. He tanks the company he works for, the person he supposedly cares about.
Yeah.
Like he's just this ungrateful douchebag bro who is then gifted. He's rewarded
Yes.
for his douchebaggery. He is gifted the most powerful weapon in the universe, sent to another planet where a bunch of people tell him he needs to shape the fuck up because he's too much of a douchebag. And he
Yep.
goes, what if I just double down on douchebaggery? And then at the end they go, do you know what? Your douchebaggery really came through.
Yeah.
He
Keep it
learns
up.
no lesson. He's just unlikable. I don't think that's. I think that's the script because I think Ryan Reynolds is likable. I think Hal is poorly written in that movie. Like
But-
I think Reynolds could be a decent, maybe not the best, but a decent Hal Jordan if he was just like a person,
Yeah.
right? Like
I just don't think that that's like Hal from the comics.
no, I mean Hal from the comics he's got a little bit more weight, I think maybe it's also just too early for Ryan Reynolds at that point.
That's what I mean.
It's still like it's like waiting Ryan Reynolds, not
Like fucking two guys, a girl at a pizza place.
yeah, like maybe he's just doesn't have. Hal Jordan has some weight. Like
Yeah.
he's not just like a fucking like, hey, did a bunch of shots, let's go fly a fucking fighter jet. He's like a guy that gets to fly a fucking fighter jet. That takes discipline and training and skill and
Okay,
intelligence.
This might
and-
seem bonkers, but you know who I would cast at that time, especially Matt Damon,
oh, interesting.
because he
Not
had
who I would have thought of, but Matt Damon could. I see where you're going.
yeah, like he's got enough of that weight that he could play off like a serious like fighter pilot kind of guy, but then has enough of that like winky, charmy thing to
Do you know who I think would play a good Hal Jordan? Matt Bomber.
yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely.
Be a great Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
Kind of get that sort of clean cut look. I
Yeah.
mean, he's basically a fighter. He's Larry Trader and
Yeah,
Patrol Man. That's
yeah,
why I'm
yeah.
thinking about it. But you know, like, yeah, it is partly the casting, I guess, but it's also the script.
I mean, it's
that version of Hal Jordan is so, I mean, far from Hal Jordan, frankly,
yeah.
that they might as well have just made a new character and be like, this is Stevie Binkles. He'll be our new Green Lantern. Like,
Hal Corden.
oh yeah, James Corden could do
Yeah.
it. I mean, the thing that I'm not mentioning here is that initially the pitch was that there was going to be a Green Lantern movie starring Jack Black, and it would have just been a comedy. He would have been like a burnout loser that ends up with a Green Lantern.
I mean, I kind of like
to
that.
save the day.
I think I kind of would have loved that.
I like that now.
Yeah.
Because like now that we're in the like, what if we do a weird superhero thing? But back then where it's like people probably don't know who Green Lantern is or anything. It's like, I don't want that to introduce them.
I mean, fair, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he needs to play like fucking Liesel or something. Like,
yeah. Liesel Pond.
Yeah.
You want Jack Black as the bacterium Green Lantern?
yeah. At least the voice, I think, would work well.
Right. Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah. I'm in.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
We're leaving Facebook and heading on over to Twitter.
That's Twitter.
First question comes from Alexander the Alex.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to be presumptuous and say the great, or apparently even the good. So you just, what's a fact?
Yeah.
I'm Alexander the. Factually, I'm an Alex.
Yeah.
I'm Alexander the Alex.
Yep. Hey.
Yep.
You waved.
Yeah.
You waved.
This is a video, right?
No.
What?
It's never been. Once it was.
Yeah.
But otherwise.
And will be again.
Yeah, if we care enough.
If we just turn it on.
Yeah. You know what the problem is?
Oh, we need the power cord. That's the piece I forgot about.
That's the problem, is that it fucking didn't come with one. And,
so stupid.
And to put it on 4K, it lasts 5 minutes.
Yeah. We need the power cord.
It's bullshit. Yeah. I know. I actually was going to get it today, but anyways.
I did forget about that.
Yeah. Fucking piece of shit. All right. Alexander the Alex asks, do you think Green Lantern would have been a lot better if they had just stuck with the original Secret Origin line? Basically, swapping out Parallax for Atrocitus and planting seeds for Sinestro Core War and Blackest Night. That seems like a lot.
My thought is, and I mean, this is definitely the Jeff Johns thing.
Yeah.
Is he's like, there's so much cool stuff. I came up with a bunch of it. We got to jam it all in here.
It is very much.
And
what if there was 7 of something?
I mean, weirdly, actually, in the Green Lantern movie, there's not as much jammed in as there is in something like even Shazam or Aquaman.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff jammed in those movies. But
there's not 7 of anything.
There's not 7 of anything.
What the hell?
But
that was the problem.
The idea, I don't know that Atrocitus makes more sense. We barely, like, as an audience, let's say, understand Green Lanterns.
Yeah.
You can't have your bad guy be a Red Lantern. I don't think.
Yeah.
That is my thought. That's a second movie move where it's like, there's a different color. Go on.
Fair.
I think the problem, I actually don't even necessarily think that Parallax is a bad villain. I think the problem is their approach to it. They made Parallax in the movie to be like a fallen guardian, but that's more like a Krona thing.
Yeah.
But then they also like got rid of Parallax's amazing fucking design. Parallax is one of like the coolest designs ever.
Yeah.
And you're also jumping ahead to when Parallax is the fear entity and not like the thing that Hal becomes. My thought is you want to keep it simple. We need to learn that he's a space cop. We need to learn how the ring works. And we need that sort of, let's say first movie, we still want to keep him on Earth like they basically do in that movie. Mm-hmm. Fine. But give him an Earthbound villain then. Give him a Dr. Polaris or something.
Fair.
But then also in the scenes where he's on Oa and he's learning how the ring works, they say, watch out for Yellow. It's the heart of fear.
Yeah.
Maybe they say like there's a legend about Parallax or something. You go like, oh, what's that? And instead of having Sinestro put on the fucking yellow ring at the end, maybe at the end, Dr. Polaris or Hector Hammond, because he's got mind powers, maybe he makes Hal feel such crazy fear that then you get like a little stinger scene where like now Parallax can get in his head.
Yeah.
And basically you could set up like a movie version of Emerald Twilight where like he does save the day, he does overcome the fear, but the seed is in there. He maybe only just squeaks past the fear in that one.
Yeah.
He beats Hector and Dr. Polaris or whoever, but now Parallax is in his head. And now in the next movie, while Sinestro is saying the Guardians aren't doing enough, there could be more order or whatever, then Hal is maybe facing the fear that he isn't good enough. He can't save the day. And then when Sinestro does something bad. Maybe it has a knock-on effect. It hurts the people that Hal loves, and then Hal lets the fear in and he becomes a Parallax. Like, I think you could set up some of these big Green Lantern concepts in a more streamlined way that sort of sets up an actual logical progression for movies instead of just like, we may never get to make another one of these, jam it all in this movie.
Yeah.
I think that's my thought on Green Lantern.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
But also just a better writer.
But even if you don't change anything else, making the fart cloud version of Parallax fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Parallax, just as a fear entity, has one of the best designs in comics. Just that fucking insectoid kind of, just insane that you wouldn't go with that.
Also, I don't remember, does Hal's dad die in it? If I could see that.
Like once or 4 times.
If I could see that happen,
Yeah.
like that would really help
From a couple of
me.
angles?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would help me like better understand.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the other thing, is Hal's not fucking Batman, right? Like,
I
yeah,
know.
it's sad, but like, he also just goes like, man, my dad died. Better go back to fucking slamming chicks. Like, he's not doing anything with it. He's just, that movie's such a mess.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Hell!
Nice.
That's right, Braydon. Yes, the donkey rises. Asks, thoughts on the greatest Josh Brolin movie of all time? Yes, of course, I'm referring to Jonah Hex. What would you have changed, if anything?
Have you seen Jonah
I
Hex?
have not.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. I remember, what's her name is in it?
Megan Fox.
Yeah, and I remember that being a big thing about when the movie came out.
Yeah.
And maybe she was treated poorly. I'm not sure.
Oh, I'm sure she was. And I mean, she was so tastefully cast as a prostitute because it's like, oh, it's the Wild West. There's no place for a woman here unless you're satisfying the men.
Yes, exactly.
Just like, ah.
That poor girl got such a bad shake.
No kidding.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying she was the greatest actor ever, but like, if there are some Megan Fox performances where I'm like, oh, like you had something to give here.
what's the one where she's like the girl who comes back? from
Jennifer's
the-
Body?
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. She got, yeah, it's kind of tragic. I feel
Yeah.
bad for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jonah Hex is sort of a messy movie.
Mm-hmm.
I do legitimately think Josh Brolin was good casting. That's one of
Really?
those movies where it's like bad movie, good casting.
Yeah.
Kind of like how like Michael Chiklis is perfect as the Thing in those Fantastic Four movies, but
Yes.
those movies are garbage.
Yes.
Even Mark Strong as Sinestro is a great Sinestro, but it's like, what are you doing in this
I
movie,
mean,
man?
great actor. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Josh Brolin is like that for Jonah Hex. Yeah, God, I mean, what would I have changed? I think I would have made a Jonah Hex movie a little weirder.
Really?
The Jonah Hex comics I like aren't the ones that are just like a Wild Wild West or
Wow, wow.
or even less interesting, just set as a Western.
Yeah.
I think like I want a Jonah Hex story. Here's what this is a legitimate pitch. If I was making a Jonah Hex story, the story starts with Booster Gold like falling back in time and landing in the Wild
Whoa.
West, and then he can't get back, and he has to team up with Jonah Hex. We sort of get some of the Jonah Hex origin. We get some future tech, and he outfits his guns. Now he becomes this like kinda Justice Crusader in the West, and he's got this sort of sidekick, and it becomes like it's not a him traveling through time adventure, but maybe the Booster's tech has malfunctioned. He can't get to the future, but now maybe other time eras are coming to the West.
Well, because like, how do you make
get a fucking Velociraptor and Booster Gold and like and a samurai. Get those 3 things
Yeah.
in a Jonah Hex movie, and that's my Jonah Hex movie.
Well, because
I
how
want that.
how do you make it feel like a comic book movie when it's just a Western? Like,
But Jonah Hex comics are also fucking weird.
Yeah.
He travels through time all the goddamn
that's what
time.
I mean. That's what I
Yeah,
mean. If
yeah.
if you just make a Western,
Yeah.
it's like, at what point does this feel like a comic book movie?
Yeah, you either have to go like hard Western, like just make Magnificent,
Western.
make Magnificent Seven with a
Yeah.
guy with a fucked up face,
Yeah.
or you
Get weird.
get weird. And I think my Jonah Hex movie would be weird.
Fair.
And I think I like it sci-fi weird as opposed to magic weird for Jonah.
So what if there was cowboys and aliens?
I didn't realize that's what I was pitching. Huh.
What if they versed each other?
Yeah, because that whole premise of the movie is he gets alien tech.
Yeah.
Interesting. What an odd little corner I've backed into here.
I see how we got there.
I don't like it.
No.
I think it would work with Jonah Hex.
Yeah.
Not
'cause-
nameless Daniel Craig character.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Chad Bokelman,
Bokel.
who asks, look, do I have to watch Jonah Hex, Steel, and Catwoman? Like, if I'm a DC fan, should I suck it up and just do it to share the pain of my fellows? Or can I still grasp tightly to the fandom card irrefutably and proudly whilst avoiding them like the plague?
Well, I mean, Chad already knows this, but I hate to tell you this, but that fandom card, it's not even laminated. The thing's a fake.
No. It actually says 2-for-1 laundry.
We each made our own
the back.
and came up with our own set of rules for why we have it.
Yes, exactly.
But I mean, the heart of this question, I think you should watch them. I mean, listen, some of them are bad. Some of them I would say are even chores, like not even that fun.
Catwoman.
Like, Catwoman is a fucking chore.
Yeah.
But I think you could still like find fun.
Yes.
Like, put it this way. Right now in the time of COVID where we're all kind of by ourselves and stuff like that for the most part, don't put on Catwoman and watch it.
No, why would you do that to yourself right now?
When you can, get a couple of friends together, crack some beers, and say, we're going to watch, we haven't watched this before. Let's watch this terrible, shitty movie. We'll make fun of it the whole time. We'll do our own little Mystery Science Theater thing.
And your friends who are like not into comics are going to turn to you and they're going to go, oh, is that like a thing? And you go, no, none of this was.
Yeah. Or they're friends that are into comics and they go, I can't believe they did that. You go, I know. And then, like, that's the fun of it.
That being said, subscribe to our double doses on Patreon.
Yes.
We've talked about Catwoman.
We talked about Catwoman and we talked about Constantine, which
And
I
Green
think
Lantern.
is legitimately a good movie. And we've done Green Lantern. That's right.
Yeah, we still have to do, I guess, Jonah Hex is next.
We haven't done Steel or Jonah Hex.
I guess those are next.
Goddamn right.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do ones that are in series too. We just always seem to go to the bad ones first.
No.
We did Wonder Woman. We did
Oh,
we did
yeah.
Superman 4.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. That one.
We
There
did
it is.
Cats.
Why was that a problem? Were you expecting something else?
Yeah, I was that day. I would say you should watch them. Definitely watch Steel. It's fucking stupid. Watch Jonah Hex.
Yeah.
It's such a missed opportunity. Yeah, of course, watch them. It's fun. It doesn't make you more or less of a fan to have or have not watched
Because
them.
there's not any real DC stuff in there, and none of it's continuity. So,
But like, it's fun to, I don't know. Why deprive yourself of another thing that at the very least you'll make fun of? You might surprise yourself and actually like it. And then you go like, great, now there's a new movie I like.
yeah, that's true.
So there's nothing to lose. Yeah,
That's right.
Definitely watch them.
Also, you can only be a real DC and comic book fan if you keep women out of it. So,
Oh, that's not where I was going. I was going to say if you get like 5 of your friends to like and subscribe to the Dr. DC podcast.
oh yeah, that too. No.
Sign up for our Patreon, patreon.com/DrDC.
Hashtag Comicsgate.
No. Oh, no.
That's how you are a real fan.
Yeah. Or if you're Jeff Johns, it's hashtag comics late because it takes so long.
Please, can you just respond to something that he posts with more like comics late? I would be the greatest.
There's no way I'm the first person to think of that.
I mean, if you are, you're literally like leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way I do it.
Leave money on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're done in here.
Oh.
All right, let's move on to Rick to the E.
So, it's in the... So many of our drops are the awkward silence, I'm realizing.
Like that maybe is the drop after all.
Maybe we're the awkward silence.
Maybe the
awkward silence was the friends we made
there
along the
it
way.
is. Yeah, you got it.
The drops we did along the way.
Joker movie. So standalone it might as well have not been based on an existing property.
Joker, great example.
Yeah. We kind of liked that movie.
We had complicated feelings.
Yeah.
And again, this is a thing we did. We didn't do a commentary track, but we did talk about this movie
Yes.
when it came out over on the Patreon. And this point that Rick to the E has brought up was basically like my hypothesis, which was this movie is not a Joker movie and just got skinned as Gotham and the Joker so that they could tap into the $1 billion comic book like potential like revenues. Like really, this movie has nothing to do with the comics. The Joker, I mean, I think the point I made was like, you could just call the Wayne someone different, call the city New York, and make Joaquin Phoenix's character just like, instead of being a stand-up comedian that whatever, he's like a dog walker that like people kind of tread on or whatever. And then one day he just puts on a collar and Alicia starts barking at people in the street and like becomes, and then they're just like dog man. And it becomes this fucking movement. And then he gets invited on the talk show and he goes, you just came to laugh at me. It's like, can I show you another dog walk? And then he goes, you got what you fucking deserve. And he bites the guy or whatever. You're like, just make it a dog movie. And he'd be Dog Man. And the movie is unchanged. Like, I think my point was that when you remove the comic book elements, the movie is identical. And that to me is that sort of cynical. And I think we know this from things we've heard about Todd Phillips and stuff too, is that it was a cynically made movie where he was just like, we'll just make a movie that's based on movies that are better than this that people already know and recognize, and then we'll just put clown makeup on him, call it Joker, and all those fucking rubes will like buy a ticket and watch it. And he was right.
Jesus.
Like, I think that's my ultimate perspective on Jokers, that I agree with Rick to the E. There's nothing in it. None of the comic book stuff in it is rooted deeply enough to be part of the movie. It's basically like a Snapchat filter over a full movie.
Yikes.
It's kind of how I feel about it.
Fair.
Well, do you disagree?
No.
You're giving me a look. It makes me feel like you don't agree.
No, I mean, listen to the episode. I had opinions.
Yeah.
But I don't like fully disagree.
Because, I mean, characterization of Thomas Wayne, wrong.
Yeah.
Just wrong. It's basically just a different character and you called him Thomas Wayne. Fair. Wrong. We didn't like Alfred.
Did not like Alfred.
It's basically just not anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Unfortunately, this is a movie that I believe for not too long will be standalone. They're almost certainly going to make another.
Yes.
It made too much money for them not to.
Fair. What do you call a flightless bird on fire?
I don't know.
Joaquin Phoenix.
If the Joker was here the whole time. I hate that Joker laugh.
Yeah, it's not good. All right, let's leave Twitter and head on over to Instagram.
Now we're going to Instagram. Take some questions and answer them. Yeah. Nice.
First question comes from Scruffy Moose Man.
Scruffy Moose Man, Hunter, who joined us last week.
Whoa. 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 Yeah, there we go.
Do you think the scratching got picked up by the mic there?
These are pretty good mics.
Yeah.
Listen to the episode on Double Dose.
There's a lot of Patreon shilling happening in this episode.
I'm in a weird mood tonight. Right.
We're both a little kind of just out of it, I feel.
Yeah.
My daughter fully rejected me today.
I think I've got a head cold.
You've got a bit of a head cold.
Yeah.
We're talking about a bunch of shitty fucking movies.
Yeah. Scruffy Moose Man asks, Gwendolyn Christie has been cast as Lucifer for Sandman Netflix series. With that said, in Constantine, did you guys find Tilda Swinton playing the androgynous Gabriel ahead of its time, or do you see angels and demons in media as androgynous? I think they did it in Supernatural too. #Ghostfacers.
So many plugs this episode. Love it.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Oh, I love you.
Yeah, what did you think of Tilda Swinton?
Fucking loved that.
I think that's probably, I'd say that's the second strongest casting in the Constantine movie.
Yeah.
My strongest casting is Peter Stormare as Lucifer.
Yeah.
Who's just, I love that he just bombs in at the end of the cool white suit and tar on his feet. But
this is the one comic book movie Tilda Swinton casting that's against type that I actually agree with.
You don't like her in Doctor Strange?
No, because it feels racist to me.
I mean, they technically make her like Irish. She's not
yeah.
playing.
I know,
Chinese
but it
or anything
feels
like that. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
weird, especially because it was like over an actor who could have like
Yeah, I don't disagree.
this one. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like I like this.
I
casting.
like the. Yeah, I mean, Tilda Swinton as an actor obviously has such a unique kind of quality.
Yeah.
And yeah, I suppose there's an androgynous. She's playing it androgynously, but I actually don't know that that's. I don't,
Intentional.
or rather, the movie never goes out of its way to be like angels don't have gender. Like she's just Tilda Swinton's just playing a character and playing Gabriel pretty authentically, but just she happens to be like. It's maybe one of the best sort of gender innocuous castings ever because like. You just cast Tilda Swinton, and this is how you play Gabriel the character.
Boom.
And then she just does it. But I do like the idea of angels specifically. For demons, for some reason, maybe, I don't know why. Demons I never think of as androgynous, even though it would make sense.
Because they're shitheads, so you feel like they like refuse.
By supernatural rules, maybe the reason is, in supernatural rules, demons are the corrupted souls of people.
Yes.
So they probably have their own conception of gender.
Yes, exactly.
So demons maybe are gendered because of that, whereas angels are an actual species.
They're like,
they're a different
they're going
class
into
of being.
they're just going into humans.
Like
That's like if I was to like jump inside of a cheetah, I wouldn't care if I was in a male or a female cheetah. Because I'm like, it's a fucking cheetah. Like what?
Yeah, but I mean like. Yeah, your soul doesn't become an angel. Like that's supernatural rules again.
Yeah. The only rules that matter.
So maybe that's why I think of them differently. But yeah, I think she's dope as Gabriel in that movie. Honestly, one of the best parts of that movie.
Love it.
I don't know if. Do you think that the Lucifer casting is like another kind of like indicator that maybe subconsciously a bunch of us have coded that angels are kind of more genderless, gender fluid or whatever?
Maybe.
Like because I don't know that I saw like uproar that she was playing Lucifer.
No, people were kind of just the only uproar was people were sad that it wasn't the Lucifer from the TV show.
But you know what I like? Is that just because maybe as a society we're like, yeah, they're angels. You could do what like.
Or do you think that society's progressed to the point where? But no, it's got to be the other thing.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how you like see sort of like angels and stuff like that? Like, is it weird? Would it be? Does the dogma thing, like Alan Rickman as an angel, is that weirder to you? I know in that movie they make a point of saying he's got no junk, but he's clearly Alan Rickman. Yes. To me, like a man angel showing up, I'm like, I don't care.
I mean, unless it's Castiel.
Oh, then I care so much.
I don't know.
I don't think I think about it that much, but I will definitely say that Tilda Swinton in Constantine is incredible, and I think Gwendolyn Christie as Lucifer is a really
great choice.
Awesome choice.
Great choice. Love it. Yeah, I don't know if we answered that, but yeah, it's good.
Oh, was it ahead of its time? I guess.
Yeah.
I guess technically, just because it's probably ahead of this time a little bit still, frankly, but yeah.
I like it. All right, next question comes from ABC.
Brooks.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3.
Brooks.
Easy as Do, Re, Mi.
Brooks.
ABC.
Brooks.
1, 2, 3.
Brooks.
Baby, you and me, Brooks.
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 Brooks. Brooks. Brooks. Brooks. Brooks. Brooks.
Brooks.
ABC Brooks now.
Won't you come back to my Neverland?
Oh no.
What? Huh? What do you mean? ABC Brooks. I'm back, guys. I know. I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
It was nice to.
It's been a while.
Hope you get to my Jonah Hex question. I don't know if we did, but we're into this one.
Well, I mean, I think it means this question.
Oh. Whoa. It's like talking about getting to it before he even gets to it. Maybe it's my head.
You are
cold.
so sick.
I don't know where this came from.
You're
I was
like
fine this afternoon.
This is like a Docmus episode. Like the concentration.
It's because the phlegm's gotten into my brain.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're not going to make it, man.
No, I'm not.
Wow.
100%. This movie had Michael Fassbender, John Malkovich, Josh Brolin, Michael Shannon, plus Megan Fox, and even Will Arnett. There's some heavy-hitting actors in this. What happened?
I mean, great question.
Also, great cast.
I don't really know. There's also an uncredited Jeffrey Dean Morgan in that movie.
Really?
Yeah. I think he's
Anonymous Daddy?
He plays like a dead body or something like that.
Okay.
Something in it. I don't really know the behind the scenes story of the Jonah Hex movie the way I do with like Catwoman or something like that.
We need a blank check episode on this.
Yeah. I mean, but like, who's this director? Like,
Oh, fair, yeah. Who was this director?
I don't really know what happened here other than bad script.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those things where it was like they wanted it to be something it wasn't. They wanted it to be this sort of blockbuster action-y thing when really the smarter move with this character would have either been something more subdued or something way weirder. And to have it run kind of down the middle and also be that thing where it's technically set in the era, but it's very kind of modern. You know what I mean? It's that early 2000s thing of like, make everything fucking cool or like whatever, right? Yeah, I don't think I have a good explanation of what happened, but this is definitely a case of a movie of great actors, bad movie.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this director...
I actually think Malkovich as Quentin Turnbull is also really good casting. Like, him and Brolin, that's good casting, but it's just not a good movie. It's mostly a script problem, and it's also like a general direction problem, I think, with the movie.
I mean, the movies this guy has made were Horton Hears a Who, Jonah Hex, and Freebirds, and that's it.
Wow.
So 2 animated movies.
Right. Weird that like Horton Hears a Who was after Jonah Hex, right?
It says 2008.
Yeah, so that's after Jonah.
Jonah Hex was 2010.
Sorry, Jonah Hex is 2010?
Yeah.
Oh God. That's so late for a movie that bad.
Yeah. When Iron Man has come out.
Iron Man and The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. That's actually really disappointing.
Right? That makes it so much worse.
That is worse. I didn't think it was that late.
No.
Oh, crazy.
Like,
it's only the year before Green Lantern.
no wonder. Like, it's like those 2 came out and they were like, no, man, DC can't make movies. I see. We got lucky, but DC can't make movies anymore.
Crazy.
It's insane that they made Dark Knight and then we're like, no, this isn't going to work.
Well, but I mean, that was also just its own little contained thing. It was never going to expand, right? But it's weird that like the movies they chose after that are Jonah Hex. And then Green Lantern, they were actually pinning the expanded universe hopes on Green Lantern.
Crazy.
Start there and then introduce other characters, which is also an odd choice, I think. But
bonkers.
yeah.
I blows my mind. All right. Next question comes from Hobbs Voltaire.
Okay.
What a weird team up.
Yeah. Yeah, we got rid of Calvin
Shaw.
and Russo.
Oh, I was going Shaw.
Oh. That's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hobbs. What an action movie.
Yeah. Hobbes and Voltaire and Shaw and Descartes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that you went Hobbes and Calvin and Hobbes. And
Because we were talking about Calvin and Hobbes earlier.
What were we saying about
We were
it?
talking about those stupid decals, but we were saying instead of having him piss, we should having him just like brick on Hobbes.
I think you said "cum in his mouth" is what you said.
Sorry. Available now in the Dr. DC merch store.
I mean, it probably can't be that hard to make that.
It's just like it's none of our branding on it at all. We just also sell that.
Do you think that Calvin's like coming and it's like the stream and it's like
Yeah.
like Hobbes is laying on the ground with like mouth open?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's like 7 Calvins.
Or do you think there's like a cookie in 7 Calvins?
Oh no. So gross. What is Hobbes Voltaire as?
any DC standalone films that one might assume are terrible but are secretly good?
Do you have an answer to this?
Here's the thing. I mean, if you include animated movies, tons.
Right. I mean, we're talking about the live action just for this one. I'll throw one out there. Has little resemblance to the book. So if you're one of those people where you decide that it's good based on how accurate it is, you probably won't agree with me. But like, I think V for Vendetta is a fine movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
V for Vendetta works as a movie for me. I like it. I've rewatched it. I think Hugo Weaving's really good. It's got some fun, like interesting action sequences. I like the design of it. I think that movie works. Is it very true to the comic? Not especially.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good standalone film. Sorry, Alan Moore. I know you disagree, but you always disagree.
Fair.
Yeah, I think that's mine.
I mean, the Swamp Thing movie's fun.
Ugh.
It's fine.
I mean, technically not standalone. They made two of those.
Oh,
They made two of those bad boys.
Okay, Watchmen.
I think Watchmen's pretty good.
I saw it opening night. It was fun.
I mean, listen, the Watchmen HBO series really kind of blew open my mind about the potential of that world.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about just a single movie, something that has to come in like at 3 hours or less, right? I think you don't do too much better than that one. I know, even at the top of this episode, I've got complicated Snyder feelings now, but like,
yes.
I think that Watchmen movie's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not going to work the pirate thing in there too. You're not going to work in a movie, right?
Yeah.
Make Watchmen a series, then yeah, you could definitely do a better job than that movie does. But as a movie, it's pretty good, and it looks kind of cool.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
And if you really want to stretch what you consider a DC movie,
Okay.
History of Violence.
Yeah, I mean, that is, again, technically true, but
It's a Paradox
definitely
Press.
pushing it. But yeah, I mean, holy shit, like, History of Violence is a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're counting that, then it's that one.
More Vigo, too.
Although I don't know that you would ever think that would be terrible, but
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Watchmen is probably the best.
Watchmen and V for Vendetta
Yeah.
are the two that I would
And
class in that,
Do people
like,
consider V Vendetta bad?
I think some people think it's just kind of meh,
Oh.
disappointing, especially compared to the book, but
Oh, fair.
I like it. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. And we are leaving Instagram.
Wow.
I don't have COVID.
Is this
it's
because
just a head
is
cold.
this because you took that medicine? Like, are you tripping right now?
No, it's like elderberry syrup.
Are
I'm
you
fine.
are you robo tripping?
What?
Did you have a bunch of Robitussin and a Capri Sun? Are you robo tripping?
That'd be sweet. If that's another thing you could do. Hell yeah. No. Reddit.
Wow, where everyone's nice and no one's ever mean.
Yep. And first question and only question on Reddit comes from I am wallpaper.
Yeah, stay that way.
And you're never gonna be anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, you think you could be what would be enough ceiling paper?
Yeah. What do you think you are? Floor paper?
You're never gonna,
or as I like to call it, carpet.
You're never gonna break through the paper ceiling.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Mm-hmm. Your paper wall. That's like a samurai movie.
Like a rice paper. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I like how you're deliberately taking time to slow down. Maybe the slowest episode we've ever recorded.
I know. I didn't realize how long we've been going. Yeah, I think we're only doing this one tonight.
That's fine. We could do the other one later.
Yeah. I don't think I'm.
You're not in the right headspace. I want you healthy for what I have planned for the double.
Oh no.
I'm gonna feed you some loaf.
Oh my god. Give me the meat.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
We're gonna be talking meatloaf, baby.
Yeah. Olives. Yes?
Not in a meatloaf, fucking monster.
No, that belongs in lunch meat
Yeah.
with macaroni.
Okay, seriously.
Oh. I don't know what's going on with
I think this will be one of those episodes where you put it out and we'll get the message on the Discord that's like, there's 40 minutes of dead air at the end of this because you just won't have turned off the recording.
No, usually what happens...
Or there'll be like, there's cumulative 40 minutes of dead air in this episode.
Yeah, that's
between the
true.
things you said.
That's like an early day episode.
Yeah, a lot of those.
Remember that was a positive thing someone said about our podcast?
Dave said that.
Yeah, how we weren't afraid to leave dead air.
Now it bothers me so much.
I know. Now I can't deal with the void.
I think this is my least favorite episode. I mean, that's not true.
Every episode's my least favorite episode. On Wallpaper asks, was it the 2011 Green Lanterns movie failure that prevented any Green Lantern characters from appearing in live-action media outside of brief cameos or Easter eggs for almost a decade? At least we're getting the HBO show now. Hope that will be good.
Yeah, I also hope that will be good. I mean, the thing that we had heard about that show sounds pretty neat. Like, it's in different eras, different lanterns and shit.
I'm all about
sounds
that.
dope as hell.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, this Green Lantern movie was supposed to be the like start of the cinematic universe, which is so insane because they basically do none of that groundwork in this movie. They introduce Amanda Waller not as a government agent, but as a scientist.
Bonkers.
And I also think she dies.
Actively working against expanding the universe.
Yeah, if anything. It's very odd that way. Yeah, I mean, I think that movie doing poorly, you want to distance yourself a little bit, right? So, and yet there are Easter eggs. So there's the sort of the sergeant that follows General, or the colonel or whoever that follows General Swanwick around in Man of Steel. On her uniform, it says Ferris. Now, is that Carol Ferris? I think they later said yes, it is, but you don't necessarily know that. But that's a little hint, a little nod maybe. But other than that, we get a lot of sort of winks to Coast City and stuff like that in Arrow, but we never see Green Lantern show up. That I don't think is because of the movie's failure, that they're like, well, we can't even touch Green Lantern. I think it was more that like, what if it's that DC thing of what if we want to do a movie, and you know how DC gets cagey about certain characters showing up in both TV and movies.
Yes.
I think it's more that piece, but certainly Green Lantern on film has been avoided like the plague. Literally the only other Green Lantern we've seen in a movie since the Green Lantern movie is Yalan Gur in the theatrical cut of Justice League.
Weird.
That one Green Lantern.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's insane.
Right? It's pretty wild. I don't think all of the avoiding Green Lantern is because of the movie's failure. I think some of it is because they don't want a character to get big on TV where they might have movie aspirations for it. And I think they always wanted to come back and do Green Lantern right, but they wanted to give that time too. So then the knock-on effect was like, you couldn't use it in TV. Although this season, Diggle is supposed to be showing up on a bunch of those Arrowverse shows, and we know that he got the ring.
That's right.
So like, we could very well just get Green Lantern cameos or appearances in the Arrowverse this year, which would be cool. Pretty dope. Yeah. And then also getting this HBO show, pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm very excited about that. But yeah, I think it definitely completely fucked Green Lantern over.
Yeah, which is too bad because Green Lantern is one of the first comic book characters that like I learned about from my dad. Like Batman and Superman are just in the ether, Spider-Man out there.
You grow up hearing
one of the first ones that I learned about was Green Lantern. And he was like, yeah, he has a ring that could do anything if he imagines it and thinks hard enough about it. And I was like, that's dope as hell. And then I kind of forgot about it. And then when the trailer came out, and I was like, I remember calling my dad and being like, they're making a Green Lantern movie. And him being like, what? No, like, I saw it with him.
That's crazy. And then we're disappointed.
I think we were like, that was,
Sure was movie.
I don't think we were like, oh, it ruined that thing of ours. Like, it didn't. But I think we were just like, yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of, it didn't ruin my day, but it was just disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much like your father feels about you?
More than his day.
All right, let's leave Reddit and head on to the Docscord.
Docs my score tonight. I don't want to read your comments till I docs my score.
Yeah, no, that was good.
The best one I've done.
Play me a doc, your Docscord.
Paul is a doc scored novelist. Which weirdly I think makes more sense than real estate novelist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's a real estate novelist?
I don't know. It doesn't exist. Unless that was like just the literature version of that real estate porn kind of. Yeah.
Docscord
She had showed
heaven.
him the property. It had a lot of potential, but that backsplash wasn't going to fix itself. How about you knock some of the price down, he said. She said, I can't do that, but maybe I could do something else to make you get this place.
I feel like now you're just talking about...
He's a real estate novelist.
Yeah.
That's what he says. He's really writing porn, but he's like, I'm a real estate novelist.
Yes. Docscords in heaven.
Paul's drunkenly writing porn at a bar. That's the saddest addition to Piano Man. He's the saddest one there.
Unless it's about Frasier, then it's fine. Well, I like that.
That'll be a double dose one day.
Yeah.
If I ever find that script again.
Oh my God, please.
If I find my...
You sent it through email.
Yeah, but I think I had a different email back then.
Yeah, but you can find it. You're way in there.
I might be able to, yeah.
That's part of the script. All right. First question comes from our favorite spacey, sexy texter.
Cosmic DM.
That's right. Rocket shipping to them DMs, baby.
This is such a bad episode. I could replace you with a box of tissues, and I think this episode would go better.
Docscords in heaven.
No, we can't do that.
Come on. Cosmic DM asks, are most of the standalone films bad because they aren't part of the extended universe, or are they excluded from the universe because they're bad?
This is where I almost went at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
I don't think they're bad because they aren't part of an extended universe.
They would have been had they been good.
Well, but also being connected doesn't make you good.
No.
They're not bad because they're not connected, right? Like that the first part of the question, definitively, that's it. They're definitely not connected because they did poorly, so why would you associate your next movie?
Yes.
Or you would never make a sequel or anything like that. Why would you associate it with those ones? But also the idea that like they're excluded from the universe because they're bad. I know what Cosmic DM means by this question, but I like there's something funny about the idea of like, imagine if Marvel just put out their movies and like they put out Guardians of the Galaxy, and if it goes well, then it's canon. And if it doesn't go well, then we go like it's we're excluding it from the universe.
I mean, that's very funny.
I think that's an even funnier, but possibly smarter way to do it. Where it's like, take the stuff that works, stuff that doesn't work, you go like, yeah, it's its own thing. And all you have to do to make sure is just not have a fucking Ben Affleck cameo in all of them. And then you can just write it off. Like, you don't, it's like, oh, it's not the same Batman. You just go, like, okay. And if it is the same Batman, then you're just like, oh, we'll find a way to work him in the next movie. Now he's canon. I kind of, in a weird way, I sort of think that's a smarter approach. And Marvel should do it too. If they ever like had a stinker, then they could just go like, it's Earth 37. You know? I think that's kind of funny. But no, short answer is they're not part of a bigger universe because they were bad, not the opposite way around.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, next question comes from Ryan P.
Okay.
Do you need to change your underwear?
Well, no, they were just the bar was out of Coke, so I had to order a Ryan P.
What a terrible cocktail.
The guy was like, we have other mixes. And I was like, no, I made my choice.
I asked what I asked for.
Oh, I heard what I said.
Yeah. Just wait till the second drink I ask for. Or as I like to call it, number 2.
Call it an Irish car bomb.
It's just Mountain Dew.
Oh, no. Don't drop a drink in my beer.
No. A stink in my beer.
Drop a stink in my Jesus Christ.
Call it the old do and poo. Ryan. I know that Ryan hates this too. He's talked about it on the dog squad.
Oh, I just ignore when people have legitimate complaints. I just move to like where they give praise. It's few and far between, but that's pretty much all I scan the dog squad for.
I just look for complaints. It's what fuels me. Ryan P asks, The Losers is a great movie. Do you think there is one part that really stands out more than the rest? Also, does Watchmen fail in your opinion? And if so, which aspects? Do you think the ending works better in the books or in the movie?
So I'll answer the last one first.
Yeah.
I, for a long time, held the opinion that the movie ending of Watchmen was a bit cleaner and better than the book.
Remove the.
The end
cleaner.
The ending being that in the movie, Ozymandias replicates Dr. Manhattan's power and frames Manhattan for attacking the world, and that's what unites the world. That's the conspiracy.
Yeah.
And in the book, it's this crazy bioengineered psychic octopus that he drops on New York.
I mean, I kind of love that.
And for a long time, I thought the Manhattan thing was cleaner. It's a thing that's already in the story, and it feels like a tighter loop. And then that HBO fucking Watchmen show pulled off the squid, and I was like, no, that is a legitimately crazier horror. It probably would execute the plan better. I realized that the Manhattan one is actually probably not a big enough plan.
Yeah.
But the squid monster, making it like this interdimensional, psychic, horrifying, like Lovecraftian thing is better. And the fact that show pulled it off, I was like, nope, the movie should have done it.
Yeah.
And it totally changed my mind about it.
Crazy.
I don't think the movie's a failure. I think that it has. I think there's an unrealistic expectation placed on trying to adapt Watchmen to like a 2.5-hour movie. Again, TV show. I think you can really pull out all the stops, make it cool. A movie. I mean, the book's too much, and also you're adapting things to media that don't like correlate. Like so much of Watchmen is like just reading government documents or pieces of a newspaper or the other like the pirate thing in there. It's like the experience of reading it, the format of reading is part of what informs Watchmen. You can't just take that and put it on screen. I shouldn't say there's no way to do it, but there's no way that anyone's cracked, right?
Yeah.
So I think for what it's trying to be and trying to do, I think it does a pretty good job. I wouldn't call it a failure.
The Losers.
Have you seen The Losers?
No, I haven't.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
Chris Evans.
Yes.
Zoe Saldana.
Wow.
Idris Elba.
What an insane group.
The Losers is basically they were like a military, like a war comic from back in the day, and then they sort of got revamped. The Losers are like DC continuity. This isn't just like a thing DC also published.
Wow.
The Losers die in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Like they're there. There was a Vertigo series then as well, and stuff like that. The setup of the movie is basically like the Vertigo series, which is that they are sort of set up, and there's an attempted assassination of them by their like operation leader because they won't like do this horrible kind of war crime thing.
Yeah.
They end up being kind of like an A-team sort of thing. They're on the run, but they're these like military experts, and they have to like clear their names and stuff like that.
That's cool.
I think it's a really fun movie. I don't think it did well, but like I like it. Best part, Chris Evans is the best part of the movie in general. There's a cool scene where he's like infiltrating this building, and he's dressed as one person. Then he gets in the elevator, and he has to do like a quick change. The elevator stops on one floor, and he's halfway through the change, and these ladies are like, "Oh," and he's like, "Sorry," and he hits the thing, and he finishes changing, puts like a new like ID badge. And he like walks right past like the boss man and into his office, and the secretary's like, "You can't go in there." He's like, "I'm from IT. My boss is gonna have my." It's like, it's the sort of like Ocean's 11. Kind of thing where it's like the quick moving, fast talking way of infiltrating, where it's not like Mission Impossible. It's the like we have to prey on the human weaknesses of the system. Yeah, I think that's a great scene. I love Chris Evans in that movie.
That's awesome. I like that a lot.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan is basically like the team leader. He's like the Hannibal if it was the A-Team.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That rules.
It's pretty tight. I think you would actually like The Losers.
I need to see that
Yeah.
now, I think. All right, last question from Refrigerator Ninja.
All right.
That's how I get food without anybody hearing me at night.
Yeah.
Like a Refrigerator Ninja.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how you would sneakily like ruin Kyle Rayner's day.
Wow. And I thought the lunch lady thing was bad.
Alex DeWitt as the lunch lady is just so deranged. It's so absolutely deranged.
All right. Refrigerator Ninja says, say what you will about the Jonah Hex movie, but the Mastodon soundtrack slaps. If you had to have a metal/hard rock band score a DC movie, what would the movie be, and what would the band that would provide the music? Ooh,
shit. I mean, I guess this question isn't using only the existing ones. So you could pick a character that actually fits with heavy metal music.
Interesting.
Or you could interpret this as just take the DC movies that exist. You now have to apply like a heavy metal hard rock soundtrack to it. Which
Okay.
movie is it?
I'll do the ones that already exist.
Okay.
Because I think the easy one that don't exist is you do a Lobo movie. And then
Of course. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm going to do Batman v Superman.
Okay. Yeah.
And the band is Protest the Hero.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Not where I thought that would have gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you get that operatic thing, which I think is like the gods fighting against each other.
Right. Okay. I could see that. Okay. I think you go. We'll make this easy.
Better not say Meatloaf.
Yeah. 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 Right as he says Martha's, and I would do it. I mean, you obviously use Bat Out of Hell for Batman. No.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, I think he used Lamb of God to do the Constantine soundtrack.
Oh, interesting.
Not only for the literal, like you could use the song Walk With Me in Hell, but also just, again, the sort of operatic thing. Like, I think Lamb of God is good at doing those kind of big, sweeping, kind of almost orchestral kind of heavy metal things. And I think it would work really well in like a City of Demons and all that kind of stuff. Like, I think you could rescore Constantine, and instead of being the kind of like new metal thing, you just go full like metal like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I would do.
Or the other obvious new movie other than Lobo is you do a Dark Knight's Metal movie.
Yeah.
You just do a movie where a bunch of like fucking rad as hell, like leather and spikes Batman come from a different universe.
No, you know what I'm going to take Batman and Robin
Okay.
and match it with Bane.
There's a band called Bane?
Oh, man.
I don't know that band.
Is there a band called Bane? Friend, I gotta play some Bane for you. Because, I mean, one, it makes a lot of sense because Bane.
I wondered what would break first. Your eardrums or your body?
Here, I'm not going to connect it to the thing, but I'll play it here.
All right. I mean, imagining that for Batman and Robin, like as a movie, is so insane.
Just like coming out like.
It's the hockey team from hell. Skating
And then-
around. Rubber lips are immune to your charms. I like that you picked like the silliest possible movie to put that to. Very funny.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Nice. Or here, you could do one of the Burton movies, like Batman Returns with the Deftones. That fucking works.
I mean, that would just be good. Yeah.
yeah.
That would be just good. Yeah. I didn't realize we were doing good versions.
Yeah. I watch you change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was the last question, so you know what time it is.
I do.
Time for everyone's favorite game. Can you guess the name of the character based on how someone who does not read comic book can describe that character to us?
Oof. Fucking molasses through that mic, baby.
All right. So if you don't now you know. The rule for this game is that the concept of this game is that I send a photo of a DC character to my wife. My wife,
There you go.
who does not read comic books, and she sends back 4 clues describing what she sees. The doctor does not know who it is, and he tries to guess.
You look
who
like
it
you're
is.
falling asleep.
Here we go.
If clue 3 is just snoring, I'm walking out.
All right, first clue. This is a good clue.
Okay.
1 in the pink, 2 in the stink, 3 in the clink.
1, 2. 1 in the pink, 2 in the stink, 3 in the clink.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have 6 fingers?
No.
Oh, okay. I guess it's got to be. Oh, geez, Louise. Pink, stink, clink. I have no idea where to even start with this one.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be bueno excelente. I have no idea.
no.
Let's just start with the sex offender character. We'll move from there.
All right, next clue.
Okay.
All go to the same hairstylist.
Oh. So there's multiple of them. Is it, I mean, this wouldn't make sense with the first clue, but is it Triplicate Girl?
It is Triplicate Girl.
What? Oh, yeah. I mean, with that picture, that's literally, yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. Wow. Triplicate Girl. I never thought of her that way, and now that's the only way I'll think of her.
The other clues were Three's Company and Alien Triplet art handlers.
Fun fact about Triplicate Girl is at one point, one of them died, and then they just had to rename themselves as Duo Damsel.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
That's and the character's actual name is Luarno Durgo.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
from the 31st century.
Yeah, she's part of the Legion of Superheroes.
Look at that. The alias is Duo Damsel, Triad, Una, Duplicate Damsel, and Duplicate Girl.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah.
That it was too long.
Not only have you lost like a part of yourself, but you also
have to change
because
it.
the duplicates come from her. They're not just like 3 sisters that join the Legion.
That's like if your like partner dies and you have to change your last name because they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Like that's your poor wife shouldn't have to go through so much.
Oh god, it's easy for her to just lop my last name off.
That's true. If anything, it'll be easy street.
Yeah.
All right. We want to hear from you, residents.
Oh god, please, literally anyone else. If we can hear from anyone else right now.
Let's. You want to send a question next week?
This is fucking painful.
Wanna...
Yes, next week we are talking about the DC animated movie universe. So that's that sort of New 52 era. Interconnected animated movies. So it starts with Flashpoint Paradox and it ends with Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. Anything that came out between there that is part of that universe, that's what we're talking about next week. That was voted on by the Golden Age subscribers. So send your questions.
That's what we're talking about, baby. Okay, we're recording. Reach out to us through our Facebook.
Christ. Dr. DC Podcast.
Our Reddit.
r/Dr_DC.
Go to our website.
drdcpodcast.com or .ca.
We got a Twitter.
At Dr. DC.
Give us 5-star review.
On Apple or on Facebook. Or if it's somewhere else, send us a screenshot so we know that you did it.
Yeah, you can send that through email.
drdcpodcast@gmail.com
or send it through the phone.
208-917-3238. Or that's 208-917 DCEU if you're nasty.
That's right. You get nasty. You know what else is nasty? Our other podcast.
You didn't even get to our Instagram, Dr. DC Podcast.
We have a Ghostfacers.
And then also, we have another podcast, Ghostfacers, a Supernatural rewatch. We go through every episode of Supernatural. We're into season 2 right now. We talk about monster lore. We talk about behind the scenes stuff. It's a ton of fun. You can get it anywhere you get your podcasts.
And then we got Patreon.
Patreon, of course. That's a great way to support us. We have commentary tracks for a bunch of the movies that we talked about today are up there. Yeah. And there's a $1, a $5, $7 level. All the levels give you access to the Doxcord. That's our Discord server. It's a ton of fun. And then also at the higher levels, you get bonus episodes every week, video episodes, all sorts of extra fun stuff. You get to vote on episode themes. And all of that support helps us keep doing what we're doing, which, of course, as this episode is a great example, high quality of content, and that's what I mean. This is the free feed. You get what you pay for.
We got Facebook.
We already did it.
Reddit.
We did it. Don't just go through them all again. We did it.
Email.
Adios.
Ciao, ciao.
They always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure. They are men of might.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.